Hi, this is Michael with Midnetworks.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure port forwarding and firewall on CloudStack to permit remote RDP and SSH access to your virtual machines. You can also follow the same process to configure other ports for other services. As you probably already know, RDP and SSH provides more flexibility compared to the standard CloudStack console. So I'm going to walk you through the necessary steps to get that set up. Now, depending on how you've deployed your virtual machine, the configuration can be different. If you've created a virtual machine on the public network and your machine has a public IP address assigned to it, then all you need to do is to configure the host firewall to allow RDP or SSH traffic. You can identify which network your virtual machine is on by navigating to the NICs tab of your VM. The network name reveals which network is in use. For security reasons, we strongly recommend that you deploy your virtual machines on a private network and control remote access using the dedicated virtual firewall that comes with your cloud account. Let me show you two machines that I've deployed on my private network. One is a Windows VM and the other is a Linux VM. On the Windows machine, I have RDP enabled and port 3389 added to Windows Firewall exception list. On the other hand, on my Linux VM, I have SSH enabled and configured IP tables to allow remote SSH access. Now, to open ports and make them accessible remotely, click on the Network tab on the left panel. Then choose the network you want to work with. Click on View IP Address, and then select Configuration tab. I'll first configure port forwarding, then add appropriate firewall rules to allow incoming traffic to my virtual machines. In the port forwarding node of the diagram, click View All. Now we will need to fill in the following. Under Private Port, I'm going to start by adding port 22 used by SSH protocol for my Linux VM. And under Public, I'm going to use a non-standard port like port 3000. It's always recommended to pick some random high port number so you can make it difficult for hackers to find out what ports you might have open on your system. Then click on Add and select My Linux VM, then Apply. Now I'm going to follow the same process to add RDP port 3389, and this time I will use port 3001 as public port. Then click Add and select my Windows machine. Now we're done configuring port forwarding. I will need to configure firewall rules to allow incoming traffic to ports 3000 and 3001. Back to the Configuration tab under the Firewall node of the diagram, click on View All. Source, CIDR. This is used to accept traffic only from a particular host or subnet. In this example, I'm going to accept traffic from all subnets. As for protocol, I'm going to select TCP and add port 3000 as start and end. The rest of the fields are optional. Then click on Add. I'm now going to repeat the same process to allow port 3001 to access my Windows machine. Now, we're done adding firewall rules. Let's test using a remote host. I'm using my laptop here. I will use PuTTY SSH client and connect using this public IP address and use TCP port 3000. And now you can see that I've successfully established a secure connection to my VM. Now let's try to test RDP connection to our Windows VM. I'm going to bring up Windows Remote Desktop Connection and using the firewall's IP and port 3001 and try to connect. And we've managed to connect successfully. Now, certainly this is not the only way to access your virtual machines remotely. In the next video, I'm going to demonstrate how to configure VPN connection and establish secure network connection to your network. Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for more.